Chances are you've heard of these records. But do you know the story behind some of the greatest rock and roll records of all time? Surely ignorance is not bliss, but a condition soon to be remedied by the thinnest host of Deep Fat Fried. Tonight, stories behind the greatest rock and roll records get deep, fat, fried.
Deep fat fried.
Rock and roll records.
You had to sneak a fat joke in there, huh? A fat joke?
Is it not a fact, sir?
You're a rude little thing,
the thinnest
Scotty.
host of Deep Fat Fried.
What did Alec Baldwin call his daughter? A rude little pig.
A rude, fat little...
You're a rude little pig, and you don't fucking respect me. I'm the best Baldwin. Dude, every fucking 10 years or so, I find out about yet another Baldwin that I didn't know existed, and it's always like way worse than the last Baldwin I heard of.
I'm a
Gustav Baldwin.
Yeah.
Herman Baldwin.
Yeah, and they get worse and worse with each thing. I saw some Christian movie that had like this Baldwin in it. I don't even remember what the fuck Baldwin it was. It was like Joe Baldwin.
Jesus Baldwin.
But anyway, he was like basically just doing like, you could tell he was actually like actively trying to impersonate his brother Alec Baldwin. Like they like dressed him up like him and had him do the voice as much as possible, but like you could tell it was not real.
The fuck?
So it sucked. Anyway,
What's even the purpose of that?
Scotty, I guess you got some albums you want to tell us about, huh? Want to tell about some albums, Scotty? Tell me about this album here, Scotty.
So the focus of tonight's episode is going to be the album covers and the origins of the album covers. You know this guy, TJ. You know this is, don't you?
That is, yes. That is.
It even says it right there for you.
That's that one guy.
It says it right there. It's David Bowie.
Oh, it's Eowab Divad.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is the album Aladdin Sane, released on the 13th of April in 1970.
Aladdin? Do you fucking call it like you watch the Disney movie, be like, let's watch Aladdin, guys. It's Aladdin.
No, it's not Aladdin, TJ.
It's Aladdin Sane. Get it? It's wordplay. Aladdin Insane.
Aladdin Sane, TJ.
Dude, I think that the origin of this album cover was that David Bowie had no ideas and painted some crap on his face and took a shitty, overexposed picture of himself.
That's your theory on it?
That's what I think.
Okay, well, that's not a great theory. Let's just be honest. Probably one of Bowie's better known on-stage personalities, the fantastical figure of Ziggy Stardust, gained him popular acclaim, of course. I mean, that's how he fucking made it big, really. Proving he didn't need to compromise to make sales. An extension of Bowie's Ziggy Stardust persona was the seminal figure of Aladdin Sane.
Yeah.
Which was essentially what Bowie described as Ziggy Stardust goes to America. Come to America.
Coming to America.
So this was actually his sixth studio album by Bowie and directly followed his previous hit, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, which is probably the most famous David Bowie record. Oh, and The Spiders from Mars. But I mean, come on. No one gives a fuck about The Spiders from Mars.
I care about The Spiders
from Mars. You do? Name them.
Spider?
No.
Okay.
The decorative front cover of the album was, of course, the iconic photo of a shirtless Bowie with a colorful flash-like scar painted on his face and what looks like a teardrop loosely positioned on his clavicle, his eyes closed, and mouth slightly agape.
Wait.
The photograph
where's the teardrop positioned, Scotty?
On the clavicle.
Oh,
yeah.
Precariously dangling there on the clavicle.
Can you demonstrate to the audience where the clavicle is?
Yeah.
They might not know.
That's right. Here.
Where is it?
In this area.
Can you really just show it? You know, like
yeah, sure. It's like I don't have a very prominent one, but it's like
right here.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Yeah,
it's right. No, I'm trying to show people, TJ.
Yeah, that's where it is.
I'm trying to show them.
Son of a fucking.
For starters, it represented Bowie at a time when he was struggling to come to terms with his rising stardom and felt himself crack under the building pressure of a life of fame. Who's ever heard of that story before? It was a time where he wanted to be up on stage performing my songs, but on the other hand, not really wanting to be on those buses and all those strange people with all those strange people. As an explanation, he said, so Aladdin Sane was split down the middle. So basically, this is kind of just his way of dealing with his now super fame. And just like, I want to perform, I want to be an artist, but all the other shit that goes along with it, like traveling and being around a bunch of people I don't give a shit about, and you all want something from me. Not really for me. The cover art, photographed by Brian Duffy, successfully conveyed this split brilliantly, as the sharp, distinctive painted scar contrasted the soft, vulnerable tear with Bowie's eyes shut, apparently unwilling to face the reality of the polarities he found himself trapped in. Duffy, who would also go on to work with Bowie for his later albums like Lodger and Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, was quite certain on how he wanted the final photograph to look like, taking much of the inspiration from Bowie's articulation of feeling like a cracked actor.
Harry Potter later stole this fucking.
I mean, of course,
the fucking. Yeah, you know,
I mean, they
just made it smaller and like put it up there.
Bowie's fucking estate should sue that bitch that wrote the Harry Potter shit.
Yeah, sue that fucking transphobic.
Especially because you know she became kind of crappy later on in her life.
Sewer into the sewer. Take her fucking castle away.
Another thing about this is that Bowie's production team was hell-bent on splurging as much money and effort on this album as it needed to increase its visibility and ensure that RCA, the record label with whom Bowie had signed, promoted the album extensively. So it's like they really wanted to wow with this cover to make sure that they're actually going to get the adequate marketing power behind being on a big record label. It got to the point where Aladdin Sane became the costliest album cover of that period, a risky step for an artist who had just found his place within the mainstream popular culture.
How the fuck is it the most expensive one? He's just draw a lightning bolt on David Bowie, pose him in front of some white fucking background and be like...
Didn't even have like a clothes budget. He's fucking naked.
Yeah. They didn't even have any money for him to get a shirt or nothing.
And they got ripped off.
That's the brilliance.
This looks like a Polaroid of David Bowie.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
It's a cool Polaroid, but it's a Polaroid nonetheless.
Pretty expensive album cover, though.
Damn.
To make matters even more precarious, it would probably be safe to say that preparations made for the shoot and ending work that took place afterwards were just as elaborate as the interpretation surrounding the photo. Everyone, including Bowie, Duffy, and both their entourages, gathered at Duffy's studio in Primrose Hill, London, on Saturday in January 1973 for the shoot. The first couple hours was spent brainstorming, juggling ideas until they finally settled on one, and the results of which would be visible on the album cover. So you guys think this was just like, he shows up, paints a shot on his face, they take a picture, and he leaves?
Yeah, apparently the process was more
involved.
involved.
It was more intense. One of the most famous album covers of all time, though, guys. I mean, you can say what you want. You know, there was not much to it, but apparently there was.
Tell us, Scotty. Tell us.
For a photo that looked rather otherworldly, it was quite strange that the shoot was done in an enclosed space as a studio. This probably just shows how powerful the concept the idea was. Bowie's makeup constituted a red and blue lightning bolt drawn asymmetrically on his face, his hair dyed red, and skin painted down with a deathly purple wash. The teardrop was a part of Duffy's own creative imagination, while the silvery hue on Bowie's body was airbrushed on his sleeve by Phil Castle. It culminated in translating Bowie so effectively because it allowed the mysteries of the artist to take center stage with a noted flamboyance and charming intrigue. DJ.
Yeah. I guess it does that.
You guess it does
now
that?
Now that you mention it, I guess it does kind of do that for sure.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's it remind you of?
Lung face TJ, dude.
Yeah, lung face, dude. That was one of my better makeup jobs. That's still my Twitter profile, but I changed that so frequently that by the time this episode airs, it probably won't be anymore.
The cover picture for David Bowie's 1973 album, Aladdin Sane, goes down in history as one of Bowie's most celebrated images, positing him not just as a musician, but as an artist, a performer, and more importantly, as a storyteller. It also became one of the most printable images, finding its place on t-shirts, book covers, and posters and stickers, as a remarkable representation of one of the classic portraits of David Bowie. It's just a really, I mean, even today they put this fucking basically this lightning bolt scar over everything.
Well, I mean,
you buy a fucking goddamn t-shirt or mug or
the coolest fucking thing about this cover is definitely the lightning bolt painted on his fucking face. That's what you remember more than anything. If you fucking ask people about a fucking famous David Bowie fucking piece of iconography or whatever, they're all gonna fucking talk at some point about the fucking lightning bolt. Even if they're like pretty fucking like, I don't really know much about David Bowie, they're gonna probably fucking remember the lightning bolt fucking image going over his eye and shit.
I imagine so, yeah.
So obviously,
probably more people than actually know what the songs on this record are.
Yeah, I can't really even say. I couldn't. If you asked me to name a track off of Aladdin, Sane, I probably couldn't do it. Now maybe I know a song off of it, but I've never actually like sat down and been like, I am going to listen to this David Bowie album. So
I don't know. I've listened to it a couple times.
I've listened to Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, I've listened to that about a million times.
That's the one that I've like actually gone out of my way to listen to. Then after that, it just kind of becomes like, what are the hits? What are the David Bowie hits?
Yeah, that happens with a lot of.
Yeah,
I mean, unless it's like someone like a Manson dude, TJ, you're probably just going to be like, yeah.
I mean, most people you cannot do a deep dive into every artist that like,
of course,
catches your fancy to any extent because there's so much there usually.
Especially with Bowie, he put out so many records.
Fucking goddamn overly prolific piece of shit. Make your catalog more manageable, dipshit.
Well, he's dead now, so the good thing is his catalog will not stop growing.
Oh, that doesn't like as if that ever stopped any recording artist, dude. They got fucking DMX is putting out 3 new albums. You know what I mean? His ass is dead. His ass just died.
There's not much of new David Bowie shit in the works.
Yeah, they're gonna go fucking. They're gonna dredge up every fucking failed B-side that he said nah. And they'd be like the lost hits of David Bowie, and it's be like shit that he didn't even want released and stuff.
Wait till they find David Bowie's early '80s abortive attempt at a hip hop album, dude. Wait till that surfaces.
Oh fuck! Does that exist? Does that really exist? Or are you just fucking?
No, it exists, bro.
Whoa! Wait, does
he
it?
He called himself MC Stardust.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Shut
he did.
up. Really? No, he didn't. Paul, you better be fucking with me, bro.
I'm fucking with you.
I know.
No, you didn't.
Here you go. I didn't know for sure, but I was pretty sure. I was reasonably certain, Paul. Reasonably
certain?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Right, TJ.
Led Zeppelin blew up a whole fucking Hindenburg to get the album cover? How fucked up is that, bro?
Yeah, this is now you guys know what caused the Hindenburg fucking disaster. Led Zeppelin's like, we need an album cover fucking, a few years down later, a few decades down the line. So blow up this fucking Zeppelin.
The original artwork on the cover of Led Zeppelin's
Zemple, huh?
Led Zeppelin's 1969 self-titled debut album will be auctioned off.
Hey, didn't Led Zemple do a song for the soundtrack of Aladdin?
Yeah, I think they did. Via Christie's during a sale scheduled for June 2nd through 18th. So they're actually talking about selling the original album. The cover was designed by George Hardy and based on photographer Sam Shear's famous 1937 photograph of the Hindenburg disaster.
Is it based on, or is it just a picture of the Hindenburg disaster that they put like some crazy filter on? Like, I know it's 1969. We don't have like fucking Adobe Photoshop at this point.
Apparently, they thought this was actually going to sell for $20,000 to $30,000. In terms of rarity, this is a unique object. I don't know. I think you get any rarer than that. So Hardy designed the piece while he was a graduate student at the Royal College of Arts in London, after his friend, the photographer Stefan Goldblatt, had recommended him to Zeppelin. After rejecting Hardy's first few cover ideas, guitarist Jimmy Page suggested that he do something with Cher's Hindenburg picture. For his take on the photo, Hardy used tracing paper to recreate the image in stipple, or that's how you say it. Stipple?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, you're fucking correcting me on everything else I fucking say, bitch. So I thought you were a fucking goddamn dictionary. I can't come to you. A style of drawing using small dots to give the same feel as a low resolution newspaper photo. Didn't get much though. They only gave him about 60 pounds for his work.
What? So motherfucker had to sit there and fucking draw dots to recreate a photograph. And they're like, 60 pounds. Good enough for you.
Wait a minute. He traced it.
Yeah.
Give me $60 and I'll trace anything you want.
Are you going to do it this well? Are you gonna sit there and draw a bunch of little fucking dots?
Paul, look, dude, we can find you the original photograph. Can you remake Led Zeppelin 1?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Paul's like, no problem.
I awaited with bated breath.
All right. You do it, I'll give you 60 pounds for sure.
Yep, me too. Although we uncovered the original stipple tracing years later, it had a note attached to it that read, Georgie's Pension Fund. Or George's Pension Fund. I don't like the Georgie. I guess I'm Pennywise now.
Hi, Georgie.
The historical significance of this album cover cannot be understated. Clarinet says, it marked a major turning point in the history of pop music, heralded by the debut of Led Zeppelin. It was louder and bolder than what had come before and would become to define the shape of hard rock for generations. The simple rendering of the Hindenburg explosion over Lakehurst stands as a monument to the important historical moment. And the image has endured in a way that most other album covers have not. It very much has taken on a life of its own.
Oh, the humanity.
So nothing that crazy. Just the guy that traced really well and kind of made it look like an old newspaper photo of the Hindenburg disaster.
And then got underpaid for his work.
Yeah, severely underpaid.
Yeah.
How iconic this fucking thing is.
But, another thing, though, is I'm not really the biggest Led Zeppelin fan. But, hey, I do know this album cover. So just goes to show it's transcended the fan base by a fucking country mile.
I actually have another entry here from 1973. I think you guys will probably know.
Well, before you move on to that, I did my best at a recreation of that album cover.
You did?
Oh, you're already done.
I don't think I got it quite perfect, but
yeah, it's backwards.
Yeah, that's one problem.
Yeah,
sure.
if you just had flipped it the right way. I know when
backwards for us, but
look, I could do that. I can flip it. That's the easy. There we go. See,
okay, now it's wrong for the people watching, but
it's pretty close. I will say, Paul, the only issue I would say is that the lettering looks a little bit different.
Yeah, you messed up that lettering.
Well, it's a different color. I know you had time to go back and do colors.
It real quick.
I mean, fair enough. All right, 60 pounds coming your way, Paul.
All right, Paul, 60 pounds. Checks in the mail.
You nailed it.
Good job.
Oh, now it's selling for 30 fucking grand, though, huh?
Yeah, that's the article we just read from.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Well, fuck this article then. Get out of here.
See you on the dark side of the moon.
I just listened to this album last night. It's fucking weird, bro.
That's fucking weird. This March 1st.
I just listened to this whole ass motherfucking album, bro.
If you remember just from a few minutes ago, TJ, Aladdin and Sane, when did that come out? 1973.
Yeah. 1973, bitch.
Born of spontaneity, uncertainty, and the pressures of life, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd's 8th studio album, was released in 1973.
I used to have this on a shirt. I don't know if I still do.
Oh, I definitely have a shirt of this.
A lot of people have a shirt of this.
I mean, who doesn't? If you don't, then I don't know.
If you don't have this shirt, you're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser.
Something I didn't know about it. You're a loser.
Dipshit.
The songs from the album were mostly written while the band was on tour, which I did not know.
Cool.
Improvised instrumental stories that would later find its footing with the maturing lyrics and Roger Waters, who David Gilmour in the 2003 documentary of the same name as the album stated, the big move forward on the Dark Side of the Moon was Roger's coming of age lyrically and having the ideas and intelligence to take the subject and examine it in all its parts in all those different songs.
Didn't stop you from fucking him over, did it?
I mean, he still thinks he's a genius. He just wanted the money.
Fucking garbage ass. Fucking David Gilmour. Go fuck yourself, bitch.
Well, we covered that in a previous episode.
Whatever. Yeah.
When Pink Floyd's keyboard player, Richard Wright, asked the graphic designer, Storm Thorgerson. A cool fucking name for sure.
That's not just a cool name. Give me a cooler name off the top of your head right now. Storm Thorgerson.
I don't know, dude.
What's a better name? Can't do it. Can't fucking do it.
Someone I actually know? I can't think of
anything. Just make one up.
Well, Can't
do it.
I don't know, man.
You can't.
I feel like I'm on the spot and I just can't think of a cooler name.
You can't fucking do it.
Fuck. There's names that popped in my head, but I'm like, is that cooler? That's the problem.
There isn't.
I'm like doubting myself. I'm like, should I say no because you're gonna say it's lame? So I got nothing. So he asked him to create something. This album's artwork. Wright requested something simple and elegant,
refined,
Thorgerson, along with this team of artists at Hypnosis,
get it?
a London-based art design group, returned with what still remains one of the most iconic and memorable designs for an album. I mean, of course, everyone knows this is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon when you see it. The prism dispersing light, which Thorgerson had seen in a physics textbook, according to the Sound publication, was thus created out of true creative freedom and trust. As the two, Floyd and Hypnosis, had worked together in the past on an album of the... excuse me, I'm an idiot. Had worked together in the past on an early album of the former, namely Saucer Full of Secrets. I love puns. Specifically, George Hardy, an artist for the design group, Hypnosis, drew the illustration. The design had become the signature logo of Pink Floyd, as it subtly alludes to Floyd's spectacular live light show,
Yes.
which they were well known for at that point.
Yeah, they were.
And this is actually, I think I corrected this design, though. Pink Floyd almost immediately approved the artwork. So they saw this shit. It wasn't like they were like, they were like, yes.
Let me sleep on it. They just see it like, that's it.
Oh, yeah,
like,
mate, that's the fucking one.
That's
right
the
there.
fucking one.
Oh, right, that really captured the spirit of what Stink Floyd's all about.
Stink.
Roger Waters would then suggest the light of the prism be extended.
Dude,
to
I want
the
to
other
start
side.
a fucking... Wait, Scotty, shut up for a second. I want to start a band called Stink Floyd now. Please.
Go ahead.
Can I do it?
I mean,
You're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, go ahead.
You know what? It could be this very logo, but it could have like a garbage can instead, you know?
Just your ass.
Dark
Have a
side of the
coming out
fart,
it,
dude.
like a rainbow
Oh,
fart.
yeah.
Stink Floyd, dude.
Stink Floyd. Or I could just get the Pink Floyd logo on my ass.
I'm still waiting for the Bearded Lesbians debut album, so
Whatever.
You know, we'll see.
Maybe Stink
We'll see.
Floyd will be the name of the Bearded
Hey.
Lesbians' first album. You know?
If it happens, it happens, dude. I'm not holding my breath, though. So Roger Waters, before you really interrupted me, TJ,
Sorry.
would then suggest the light of the prism be extended through to the other side of the physical album cover. Ah, genius, TJ. Connecting the two with a heart blip,
Whoa.
as you would see on a heart monitor, TJ.
Oh.
One can then trace the elongated beam and follow the multispectral light across the opening of the album. Brilliant design, TJ.
Brilliant.
A design
Brilliant.
which the likes of you would never even come up with.
You're right.
While Dark Side of the Moon is in fact a concept album, it is still a loosely connected one, reflecting how fragile life can be at times through the themes of the basic pressures of life and money, mental illness, coming of age, and weariness from travel. It is in ways a very personal album, specifically to Waters, who basically was helming the band at the time, lyrically,
Or to
creatively.
any human being that has to do with
Yes.
all of the same
Dude.
fucking issues.
Well,
What
of
I've-
course, but
What I've learned so far is that to make an iconic album cover, put the least amount of effort possible, dude. We've had a dude that slapped a lightning bolt on his face and took a picture in bad lighting that became iconic. We got a dude that literally traced the Hindenburg disaster.
yeah.
And now we've got a triangle with a fucking rainbow coming out of it. Like, it's you know what I mean?
Excuse me, Paul. How dare you say these things? How
No,
dare
Paul.
you?
Listen.
Well, it is an album born from distress and fear.
Oh.
It is also the celebration of life as symbolized by the iconic spectral light.
Philistines like Paul do not understand.
Of course he does not.
Yes.
Triangles and pyramids are objects of mythologized geometry, Paul. They are sacred shapes, somehow randomly appearing in the systemized chaos of the very fabric of life. Did you not see that when you looked at this cover, Paul?
I mean, I do now. I see
Yeah.
it
Of
now.
course you do.
Stupid Paul.
Poor little Paul doesn't understand spectral lights. As Roger Waters once said while looking about the period of time, we could have all gone off. I'm glad we didn't. All out of enmities and anxieties that were left behind. You know, in the rubble of the expulsion of that enormous success came all kinds of wounded creatures that had their own story to tell.
Man,
Dude, couldn't they have done like
success
a
fucking... You know what I'm learning from all our episodes lately? Success fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Be glad you're all failures. I speak to our audience, of course.
Dude,
we are great successes.
Couldn't they They could have made a real literal cover for this album.
Yeah.
Like just have a black guy pull his pants down, you know what I mean?
Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
See you on the dark side of the moon.
Just
Kiss my
black guy pull his pants down, moon the camera.
And if you thought that that Paul's theory was incorrect, let's just go to the last album cover we have.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. They went on a walk.
They walked right across the street
outside of the studio where they recorded the record.
It's fucking brilliant.
Do you not see it? I mean, it's a great photograph. I enjoy it, but it's nothing that is, that crazy to pull off.
Small-brained Paul will not comprehend the profundity with which these four men use the crosswalk to traverse
what's the name? You can say whatever you want. What's the name of the road?
Abbey. Motherfucking
there you go.
Road, bitch.
It's Abbey Road. So it fucking works yet again. Released on September 26, 1969. So on August 8, 1969, on a street in Northwest... How to get that in my fucking system.
Yeah.
On a street in Northwest London, and almost directly directly outside a celebrated recording studio, one of the most famous ever album covers was shot. As we see
this might be the most famous album cover. People recreate this shit to this day, probably to the annoyance of actual traffic.
Photographer Ian McMillan took the photograph that would adorn the cover of a brilliant new record named after the street where he stood, Abbey Road, which is like one of the most famous roads in the world. The zebra crossing, almost exactly in front of the studio where the Beatles had created the vast majority of their body of work, was about to become one of the most recognized sites in London. So basically the Beatles were like, we need to fucking shoot an album cover. Let's walk outside.
All right, I guess we go see
help somebody out with this and take a picture in front of like a privately owned bistro or something and blow that fucking place up.
Yeah,
like,
here we are, the Beatles cheering it for in Roman's Bistro or whatever the fuck. But nope, got to clog traffic for the rest of time. The consequences of this photo for the traffic on this road, like how many fucking people have been like, get the fuck out of here, as four doofuses try to create like, dude, let's recreate the Abbey Road.
It would scare me to know the number of times this actually happened.
Dude, you know what I just thought of?
What?
Three of us should get one more dude. We should fucking recreate the Abbey Road cover, dude. It's going to be brilliant, dude. It's going to be great.
Let's get Stevie.
Yeah, get Stevie to do it.
As long as I have to be John Lennon in the white suit at the head of the pack, I'm fine with it.
All right. Well, I guess you called it, but I get to be fucking Paul McCartney then.
All right.
I get to be the one that's still alive.
Well, I'm calling. You guys have fun doing that.
No, dude, Scott, you coming now.
Notice too, though, everybody in this picture is leading with their left foot, except Paul McCartney. He's leading with his right foot.
That's because he's the true nonconformist.
Well, remember, at this point, he's been replaced. This is actually Clone McCartney.
Right. Stupid.
He was dead.
I forgot about that. Yeah, good point.
You forgot, dude.
That's a good point, Scotty.
In 1966, unfortunately, he was replaced.
So the story of this photo is four guys went outside and took a picture on a crosswalk.
Yeah, before the shoot began, McMillan, a friend of John Lennon and Yoko Ono's, had taken Paul McCartney's initial sketch idea of the potential cover image and added a detail of exactly how the famous quartet might look at the crossing. The street sign of Abbey Road that adorned the back cover of the album was taken by McMillan on a junction with Alexandra Road that no longer exists. You can't even see that. So that image is actually of a road that no longer exists.
Whoa.
Linda McCartney was also on hand to take some extra shots before traffic was stopped by a solitary policeman, and McMillan got on a stepladder to take 6 images of the group crossing the road. Perhaps the four most famous men in the world walk across the road 3 times, so they had to do it 3 times. Not too many. So
take 1,
take 2, and take 3.
Take 3. There
McCartney took the lead in choosing of the 5th of the transparencies to be used, partly because it was the only one in the group that showed the group walking the exact same time together. In 2012, one of the outtakes was sold at auction for a measly £16. So when people are thinking about creating these crazy works of art or album covers or movie covers, you literally just have to walk outside the studio and take a couple pictures. And
Yeah.
It works.
The more effort you put into an album cover, the worse it is.
Look at
Wipe
these.
your
Some of the
ass
most famous.
on a piece of paper and make that your album cover. You know what I mean?
Just whatever the last selfie was on your Instagram, that's your album cover.
The
Just go with
iconic
that.
bearded lesbian shit stain will be remembered as one of the most recognizable images of the late 2020s.
And actually, you guys might have seen this before.
It says at once that society is piquant yet divine, and with a hint of lemon. And
go ahead and go to the last part of our episode here, TJ. We can actually watch. Scroll down.
Abbey Road open house. What is going
you
on?
can go in August, and that is
there.
The famous
is
crossing.
There it fucking is. And Christ the Savior was born. Oh my God! If you try to recreate that, you're gonna get hit. Those motherfuckers don't even slow down for that crosswalk. They just like boom.
Well, it's like 10 o'clock in London right now.
Are we getting fucking bombed? What the fuck is happening?
And of course, people are driving the wrong way on the road. Why British people can't figure out how to drive? I don't know.
I feel like a fucking F-10 just flew
What
like
are these
directly over
people-
my house. Shook.
What are these people in the UK doing? Oh, they're insane.
Look at them cross
what are you
Abbey
doing?
Road, dude. Look at them go.
Well, no recreations for us. Too late. But I'm sure if you watch this all day,
It's like shit's blocked off, so they're like traffic is going both ways on one side.
I believe
of the
me and
road
Taylor
there.
watched this, and it was more during the day, and we definitely saw some people being stupid and trying to take pictures.
Oh
so.
my God, I love it. I
Too
love
late.
it.
Too late though. Sorry, everybody.
Damn it, Scotty. No. No one's gonna try to recreate
Well, you know
it
what?
at night.
If you want to do it, TJ,
Recreate it at night, dressed as vampires. Boom.
that's your idea.
Naked.
Yeah.
Recreated at night naked.
Naked people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's London. I mean, there's no laws over there anyways. We can
They ain't
do
no
whatever we
fucking
want.
law in London. Dude, even if the fucking police do show up, they're like British police. Like all you have to do is like conk them on the head one time with a fucking light
You don't
tap
even have
and
to
they
do
fucking
that.
pass right
Just
out.
talk nicely to them. Just be like, oh, so sorry, chaps. We're from America, aren't we? Yes, didn't understand that there was a public nudity ordinance. Well, look, we've got robes right here. So sorry to have disturbed.
I apologize.
Hey, someone across
dreadfully
Abbey
for the
Road.
inconvenience.
Cross Abbey Road.
Do it.
No. Not going to go in crossing the road.
Dude,
How sad.
what if somebody gets splattered on Abbey Road and this is running?
Dude, then that's like the best end to the episode possible, right?
I mean, that would be
Yeah.
amazing, but then we're going to get caught
Yeah.
in the trap of sitting here waiting for it, you know? Because it could happen. You just got
I
to
mean,
wait
it
for
doesn't
somebody to
seem
come
likely,
along,
but-
you know?
I hope that doesn't happen, but yeah.
There's no one crossing,
dude,
TJ.
I hope it does happen, but I hope the person it happens to is a
There's
real...
got a bike.
Nah.
Bike people, they could get hit. No,
They could.
no one's hitting them.
I hope the person
Damn
it
it.
happens to is a real fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like a shitty landlord that just kicked a family out on their ass because they were $1 short on rent, you know?
And he's walking down the street counting his fucking money. Yeah. And then the car comes along. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dead.
The,
The
worst
spirit of
man
John
in
Lennon
London
strikes
should
you
die here.
down.
Yeah. And then the ghost of fucking John Lennon shows up and fucking eats his soul.
Cool.
Cool with that.
Yeah.
How about the non-ghost of Ringo Starr shows up and actually eats his corpse?
That could happen too.
Ringo's like, oh, hello, me lovely, and just like
Drags him off into the bushes.
yeah.
It's time for Ringo to feed.
I guess that's what they call the Crossings Hall of Fame.
Okay.
What? I don't see anything.
What's
there,
here?
though.
What's there to fuck? What's,
Yeah, I don't know.
what am I looking at? Oh, remember that time?
Yeah, what is this?
Um,
Come on, Abbey Road. Get some cool shit.
You can go to different times.
There's timestamps you can look.
And you look at 1 a.m. or fucking
Well, you can look at the middle of the
5
day.
a.m. I don't know.
We're looking at 5 a.m.
You
TJ.
look at noon.
What
Fucking
about
it's noon
5
then.
a.m.?
Here's fucking noon, dipshit.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna take this picture because this looks like a busy ass fucking road.
And look at this fucking trash lorry that's just like parked there too. That'll make for a fine picture.
Well, I know they're doing a bunch of construction.
Just quit trying to recreate the fucking picture, goddammit.
Yeah, no one's doing it, man.
I want to see some dork trying to redo it.
Not gonna get it.
Damn it.
The spirit of the Beatles is dead and gone.
Damn it,
TJ.
Scotty. God fucking damn it. All right, your episode's over, Scotty. You mispronounced every other word. It was fucking terrible, Scotty. was an awful episode. F-, no good.
Thanks for watching Deep Fried.
Yeah.
Deep Fat Fried.